Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Colin's Closets. We have actually moved to my kitchen today because I needed a little bit more counter space, but today I'm gonna be showing you an everyday makeup look like I have here. Our video is gonna be about 10 minutes long, but in reality it should take you around 5 to 6 minutes to do this look. I would love to know feedback when it's over. Do you guys like it? Is it a look you want me to keep doing these, etc., etc.? So this is my first makeup tutorial, everyday makeup, and I hope you enjoy it. So first thing I start off with is a clean face. I'm gonna get into all of what I use as far as face products go in a later post, but today we're sticking to makeup. So make sure your face is washed and moisturized. And then the first thing I start with is a liquid foundation. And I know I told you guys that I think some of the brands that I use would surprise you. So first up is probably one of the most surprising brands. I love Mary Kay. I start off with putting a little bit of liquid foundation on my finger, like so. And then I kind of take that, and yes, this is like every makeup artist, they just like cringe if they're watching this, and sort of dab it a little around my face and neck, and then I just blend it in with my fingers. The next thing I do is go in and put something that's gonna conceal and brighten underneath my eyes, and I'm currently using Makeup Forever. I dab it underneath my eyes. This cranks out, which I also like. Less mess on your fingers. I get asked a lot, how do you get your foundation to stay on? How do you get your makeup to stay on so long all day? I think that that's probably two things. One, after I do my liquid foundation, I set it with a mineral foundation. And then the second one I'll share with you at the end. I just use a flat top brush. And then I just sort of, in a large circular motion, blend it in all over my face. Then the next thing I do is a minimal amount of contouring. I really try to save that, like, well, I'm not an intense contourer because I'm not a true makeup artist, but I try to save that for a really like party look. And if I'm just doing it every day, I just take a touch of bronzer. So I will use a little bit of the Dark Hoola as a contour. And what you do is like make the fish face, and then you go right like underneath that. And then I will take a different brush. I'll come back in, and you can pick either blush, just depending, you know, on your day. I kind of like the California. I like a little more of those like pinky orangey. And you can see it goes on really, it's not a ton of color. When you're done doing your makeup, use something to set it. Mineral Veil is my favorite go-to for its bare minerals. So I take a loose brush, swirl it around, and then I just kind of go over my face lightly. But there's something about it that just sort of brings everything together and it sets it all in. The first thing I do before I do my eye makeup is I put a little bit of an eye primer on. I've had a sample of this MAC, it's actually a tongue twister. It's called MAC Paint Pot. Dab it on my eyelids. And then I always try to find palettes, especially now that I'm doing this for you guys, that you can use, you know, more than one thing in the palette. So if you are really into contouring and having the bronzer doesn't do it for you, Tarte has this Pro Glow To Go. I will take one of the highlighters. I usually use the gold one, and so instead of using it as a highlighter, I use it on the upper part of my lid. So I'll just swipe it like a windshield wiper up on the top part of my lid, and then I'll take it down into the corner and then underneath just a little bit. And then I am also a really big fan of Tarte's Pro To Go. So I'll do a little bit of the Hype, which is the gold, and I will run that on the inside of my lid. I mean on the smallest part down here of my lid into the crease in the corner on both sides. So that's your lightest color. Then I will just use the same brush, come back through and use the more coppery one, which is Boss, from the outside, and I'll work that in all the way through to about the middle of my lid, and then I'll take that a little bit higher on my lid. Same on the other side. And then I'll take a little bit more precise brush. So I'll come back in with the brown and just tap a little bit on the brown, and then do a tiny crease in the corner. And I'll do like a V, and then I'll take it like deep, and then on the other side, like a little V, and then I'll windshield wiper it, you know, in my crease, and then I'll take that up just a little bit. Next, I'll do my liquid eyeliner. This is, other than mascara and lipstick, liquid eyeliner is probably the next most asked question I get. This is from Sally's, and I would probably like live and die by it. The only thing I will say, and it's Femme Couture Get Lined liquid eyeliner. The only thing I will say about it is you do have to practice with it a little bit. It is really like a paintbrush because it looks like this, so it's not on a stick. When you pull it out first, this is the most you'll have on it until you put it back in. So go where you want the most volume, which would be in the middle. So I start in the middle, work my way to the outside, and then I will, once I get the inside, middle to outside, then I'll go outside to inside. I like a little bit of a cat eye. I have almond shaped eyes, so sometimes just winging it out a teeny bit will like make my eyes appear a little bit longer and wider than they actually are. So I will come outside of my eye by like just a teeny bit, and then up a little bit, and then wing it in. So you can see that's just like just a teeny little bit outside of my actual eye. And that sort of gives you that like wings your eyes up instead of down appearance. Then I will go to the inside corner and work my way to the middle. I like bottom lid eyeliner. So I work from the outside, and I will come in a little bit from that wing and touch the liner that I put up at the top, and then drag it down to meet my bottom lash line. And then I will I switch my, so I was gripping it like this, I switch it like this, and then come up underneath my lashes and just run it along there again, all the way to the inside corner. The last thing I'll do if necessary, like if I didn't get it on the first time, I'll come back into the very inside corner and just make sure that I have my eyeliner to where it touches. And then you can kind of like step back away from it a little bit and see if you need to add anything anywhere to even your line out. So looking at this, I have a little bit too much up here, so I'll just go back in with a little more liquid and even my line out. Last thing I use on my eyes is mascara. I have a lot of favorites. Currently, I have been using Marc Jacobs mascara. Start with my upper lashes. I kind of work it in there, up, down, up, down. I think however you put on your mascara is like a personal preference. And the last thing that I go back and do is fill in my eyebrows a little bit. So I've showed you both of these. So I'm giving you two options. My whole thing is to try to minimize the stuff that you need to do your makeup so you can maximize the products that you have and use them you know, to the best of their ability. So you will need a brush, a brow brush. My eyebrows are microbladed, so they are filled in, so I only have to fill them in a little bit. But you can do one of two things. You can use your contour, your brown, or you can come in and use a little bit darker brown, which is styling in your Pro To Go kit. So I'll just tap that in there a little bit and then lightly brush it onto my brows and just fill them in a teeny bit. Last but not least, lipstick. Start with a lip liner. So I will go around the top and the bottom. And a lot of times I will just do it slightly on the outside of my actual lip line to make your lips appear just a little bit bigger, but that's not necessary. So if you're not feeling that, don't feel like you have to do that. This is Velvet Teddy, which is probably my favorite everyday pink nude lip color. And then the last thing I'll do is, I don't every day, but sometimes I'll throw on a little bit of lip gloss. Buxom is one of my favorites. I'll just put like a little in the middle, a little on the top. And that is our look for today. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it.